Would you rather have $100 today or $100 in a year? The answer is clear, right? Of course today. But what about $90 today and $100 in a year? Would you wait a whole year for an extra $10? And how low would you go to claim less money immediately rather than more money in the future? Today, we're looking at the psychology behind self-control. Classic economic theories state that individuals should have consistent behavior and preferences over time. This means, not accounting for inflation, that rational individuals should always pick $100 in a year over $90 now. But newer psychological tests have shown that individuals will pick the lower but immediate reward. This is the basis of something called temporal discounting. This means that individuals prefer smaller and instantly gratifying rewards over larger but delayed rewards in the future. We become temporally myopic. This graph illustrates this behavior. In the beginning, you are much more obliged to pick blue because it gives you a larger reward in the future. But as you move closer to the time where you could get green, it becomes much more attractive, staring into you with its puppy eyes. When you move into the danger zone, the apparent utility of green seems much bigger because it's closer to the time of consumption, and blue doesn't seem to matter because it's relatively further into the future as it was before. Let's do an example. You're standing in the beginning again. Someone offers you $100 in 60 days or $200 in 90 days. You, being the rational person your mom always told you that you were, of course pick the $200, because of course you can wait another 30 days. But as you approach the danger zone and day 58 turns into day 59, something's changed inside of you. Now it's a question about whether you want $100 now or $200 in 30 days. So the apparent utility of the lesser reward seems much bigger now. But hang in there, soldier, better things await you. So how can we do this? A possible reason is interest. When we decide between an amount in the present and an amount in the future, we consider a subjective interest rate. As an example, if you thought with $90 now that you would be able to make $20 before a year passes, you would of course pick the $90 over the $100. In a study, Thaler and Sheffrin found that subjects would have a subjective interest rate of between 36% and 122%, much higher than the interest rate. The second explanation is much more simple. Humans are impatient. We simply favor the present over the future, which leads to a bias called the present bias. An example of this is 20-year-old you thinking your retirement is 500 years in the future and thus not relevant right now, so you don't put money into your retirement savings. Then in 50 years, you're forced to call the Gordon Ramsay of finance Dave Ramsey because you've only got enough money for 55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 pies, 55 cokes, 100 tater tots, 100 pizzas, 100 tenders, 100 meatballs, 100 coffees, 55 wings, 55 shakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pastas, 55 peppers, and 155 taters for a total of $680. When we're talking about self-control problems, we can divide them into two categories. Interpersonal problems, meaning a problem presiding between yourself and other people, and intrapersonal problems, meaning problems inside of yourself. With the latter, it's far easier to fall into the trap of temptation. If you only hold yourself responsible, the consequences feel far less severe as opposed to having a responsibility towards another person. Imagine you tell yourself that you will finally give up cigarettes. You have a strong motivation because you're so tired of smoking and having an empty bank account. Everything is going well. But after a month, you come home after a 12-hour shift in customer service, and all you want is to throw yourself down on the couch and light up a Camel. Easy to break, right? What if instead your girlfriend and you agree that you'll stop consuming nicotine together? You both bind yourself to another person, and now it's much harder to break the mission, because you know that if you do, your girlfriend will be very sad. So how do you fix your self-control issues? In order to be the best version of yourself, you can make use of two different commitment strategies. An Extrapsychic device could be an action of simply removing the choice. This method is extremely effective, and you might have seen this in your Uncle Mike washing down every bottle of scotch in the drain to prevent himself from getting liver failure for the 5th time this year. Another Extrapsychic device is contracts with other people. You could tell your friend that you will give him $100 for every cupcake you eat, not to keep your weight under control, but because you don't want to support the cupcake industry. Thus, you punish your future self and hold him in check so they can't deviate from your present self's plan. Another method is called personal rules. This is where you give yourself constructed rules to follow. For example, I will only drink 1 beer a day, or before I'm allowed to doze off to YouTube in bed, I have to brush my teeth. Or your girlfriend saying, I can only buy 1 salt lamp a week, with the latter being kind of unrealistic. Remember, what you end up doing sets the precedent for the future. If you on your second day of the no beer drinking diet drink a beer due to temptation, you can't expect to not fall into the trap again on the following day. But if you've told yourself no on your second day, you've set yourself a nice precedent and the path to sobriety is now more likely. Good job, I'm proud of you.